Hey there, friends. Welcome to our next live church website review. If you haven't watched any of our website reviews yet, I encourage you to go back and watch the first two that we've done. This summer, we are going every Wednesday through a new church website, a different church throughout the US or Canada who has requested for Church Juice to give them a website review. So we're doing it live on YouTube so that you can also watch along. You can see what other churches are doing with their website and get hopefully, some encouragement and also some ideas on how you can improve your own website. Today, we are going to look at Cephas Church, another church in Canada. They are in Ontario, and we are excited to take a look at their church today. Before we get started, just a couple things. If you don't know me, if we've not met, my name's Brian Haley. I am the producer of Church Juice. And we love providing free resources, consulting, anything that we can do to help you and your church energize your church's communications. We love helping churches with marketing tools and resources. We love providing ideas and tips and how-tos and helping you make sure that you are communicating and connecting with your congregation and your community as well. So if you haven't, check out our website, churchjuice.com. Everything that we provide is free, and we would love for you to be a part of the Church Juice community as well. So like I said, we are going to take a look at Cephas Church this morning or today, whenever you are watching today's video. And I'm excited to really just to dive in. So let me set this up. Let me get us going here. And yeah. All right. So you see here, this is obviously the Church Juice website. And we are going to take a look at Cephas Church now. So I had it up there just a moment ago. Let me see if I can add it again. So if you're trying to follow along, this is the website address. We are going to cephascrc.ca. Right, so I have not looked at this website yet. So this is my first time looking at it along with you, if you're pulling it up or you're just watching along. So I'm giving my first impressions of the website. I'm taking a look at the content, taking a look at the imagery, the layout of the website, just giving my first impressions and how Cephas Church, how your church as well might improve the website, and also take a look at what they're doing well. So the first thing that we do when we pull up cephascrc.ca is I see, I'm trying to see if I have like a pointer or anything. I don't see anything here. So the first thing that I notice is this really cool kind of wheat background video. And what I see here is that we have Welcome to Cephas Church, of course. That's a great welcome. It's a classy background video that they have there. I would love to see something that's actually people, that really represents the church in worship, doing ministry, connecting with the community, but giving me a better idea of who is or what is Cephas Church. But if in terms of background video, I love the fact that it's a little blurred out. There's still a good contrast with the white text and the background. It's a moving picture. So those are all good things. But again, I would love to see something about video or something about people with people in it. All right. So as we scroll down, obviously we see this in the header, Welcome to Cephas Church. The next thing that I see as a visitor is the church's vision. Our vision is that all people would grow in the grace and knowledge of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. That's great. I love that you guys have a vision in place, that you know the direction that you're going as a church. As a first-time visitor, that's probably not the first thing that I care about. So I would love to know, what does that mean for me? How does that impact what I'm doing, or how does it apply to my everyday life? So the vision is a great thing to have. I don't know that it is the first thing that a visitor wants to see or cares to see. I would rather see something here that applies to me as a potential visitor to your church. Why would I even want to come? Um, so that is something that you can think about there. Right below that, you see come and worship with us on July 2nd at 10 a.m. I love that you have the date there. I would say that's probably a bit much to have to update that every week. Obviously, today's Wednesday when we're doing this website review. I don't know when you update this. So is it Sunday at 11 o'clock that you put the next Sunday, the next date up there? So at some point, this probably becomes outdated. I don't know for how long, but having to update the date every week might be a bit much, a bit in the weeds. On the other hand, it's also updating your content a little bit, so keeping things fresh. So yeah, you could say Sundays at 10 a.m., something like that. And I assume. Let's see what this video does. Nothing. Okay, so my assumption was that this was going to be either last Sunday's worship or a trailer or like a video welcoming me as a visitor, telling me what to expect on Sunday. Like, this is what we're talking about on July 2nd at 10 a.m. Because it says join us for worship here, the headline, join us for worship on July 2nd. So I would assume that there's something here. So if this is only the live stream, which it looks like it is, then the rest of the week, this is dead space. This doesn't really do anything. So I would encourage you to kind of rethink this a little bit. You could do a quick 30-second video about what to expect on Sunday. You could show your previous sermon or worship or whatever. But you might want to rethink this in terms of a first-time visitor. If they're visiting in the middle of the week, what is the experience that they're getting here? Then below that, you say join us in person or online. I would say that's probably something that you would want up here. Come and worship with us in person or online, July 2nd at 10 a.m. Because it doesn't really flow, right? Please join us for coffee in the fellowship hall following the worship service. That's great to know what's happening after. I think in terms of a first-time person, someone who's coming to your website for the very first time, who doesn't know much about your church, I would love for this little section to be a little bit more about what to expect. So yes, join us for coffee in the fellowship hall following the worship service. Great. I don't know where the fellowship hall is. I don't know that I want to attend, let alone join you for coffee afterwards. Will I feel totally out of place? Will I feel uncomfortable? You also have a join us in person or online. So if I'm joining online, then how do I join for coffee in the fellowship hall following the service? Is that for in person only? Or is the fellowship hall some sort of lingo for, a breakout room on your Zoom call or something like that? I don't know. Below that, you have 3 buttons: church calendar, order of worship, previous sermons. Those are all great. I would love to see here in this, like, even up here in this top little video header section, but in here, I would love to see one call to action for a first-time visitor. Learn more. I'm new, plan your visit, something like that, where it takes me to a different page where I can learn more about what to expect on Sunday. I can learn more about what the coffee time after the service looks like. I can learn more about online versus in person. I think I said what to expect during the service, but those kinds of things, answer those questions. And I think I've talked about that the previous website reviews that we've done too. So something to think about as you, whether you are Cephas or another church, how are you inviting your guests into the conversation? How are you inviting them into a relationship with your church? And how are you inviting them into deeper connection with your website, with your church, and connecting with you? As people click in, they're getting to learn more about who you are. They're being more engaged. And so those are all good things, both for analytics, for search results, for your church to be able to track how people are connecting with you. Because if they just stay on the homepage, that's great. If I'm here for 3 minutes, cool. But if I can be here for 15 minutes and get a whole deeper understanding of what your church is, who your church is, what you're about, those kinds of things, that's a whole lot more meaningful than just hanging out on the homepage for a little bit. So I would love to see this section kind of reworked a little bit and drive people into deeper engagement, first-time visitors into deeper engagement here. Below that, you have a little bit more about the church. We focus on Jesus Christ. We are real people. I love seeing this picture of real people in your church. I assume this is your coffee time and your fellowship hall. So again, you could connect those two. But yeah, we're real people. I don't know that meet our team is the best call to action here. I would love that to, again, drive someone to deeper engagement if they're a new visitor or something like that, about, what kind of people we are. Who are we? What makes up this multi-generational ministry? All of these things that you talk about in this paragraph here, but give, more visuals, things like that. So this could be, instead of meet our team, this could be the same call to action that you put up here. So plan a visit, I'm new, whatever. Growing in grace, our vision comes from 2 Peter 3:18. That's great. But again, as a first-time person, I don't care a whole lot about your vision because I want to know how it applies to me directly. Down here, you have plan your visit and what to expect. Those are great things. I think this is great. I would love to see this spelled out a little bit more visual, that kind of thing on a page specific for visitors. But this is great. And it also gives me a visual of the church building. I don't think that your church building should be the first image that people see. So obviously it's not here on this website, but on many churches, it's the building that the website focuses on right away. People can find what your building looks like. They've probably driven by, they've probably seen it. If they're searching for your church, maybe they know who your church is. The building is not really what people care about. It's the people, right? And so just as much as the church is about the people and not the building, so too should your website be about the people and not the building. But if you're doing a what to expect or, here's how to get around, that kind of thing, pictures of the building are great. But again, you talk a lot about nursery, children's ministry. So you could expand on that and say, help people register before they show up. You could also have things or pictures, things like that show the nursery, show kids ministry. So this would all be great content to expand on your plan your visit page or, guest page. And that could be another button down here as well. Alive with Christ, another scripture verse. That's great. Doesn't really add a whole lot to the conversation here, but it's still good. We'd love to meet you. And here's where you have your location. And this is great. This is good to have on your homepage. I would encourage you to think about how you might put some of that up here, where exactly you're located toward the top of the page. That helps Google and other search engines kind of find you a little bit quicker. And so, or localized, I should say. So as people are searching for churches in your area, you do have it on your homepage. So that's, of course, a good thing. If you have it higher up on your homepage, that might help you just a little bit, just some of those small tweaks. So that's a little bit about the homepage. I would say the other thing that I notice is here we have the navigation at the top. I didn't go through that. I've gone through that on some of the other websites. So I would say the same thing kind of applies here. As we've talked about previously, you should really think about your website navigation as a discipleship process. As people are going from first time potential visitor, first time to your church, to your website, to a fully engaged member of your congregation, think of your website navigation in those terms. From the very first call to action to the most engaged person in your church, what is that discipleship process? What is that process of engagement and connecting to someone? What does that look like? You probably don't need the home button. Most people know now to click the logo to go back to home. But you could put an I'm new here. You could put something like that, something for that first time visitor. And then how are they getting connected? What are those connection points or those clear next steps? And make that your main website menu navigation. But yeah, I think that's I think you guys, your website looks great. I see that it's in Clover, so I would love to know your experience using Clover websites. I've heard both positive and negatives, especially in the last couple of years. So I would love to hear about your experience with Clover. But overall, I think your website, it looks great. It's clean. You don't have too many fonts or too many low quality images, things like that. Your content is concise, but it's also detailed enough that there's enough content for search engines to pull from, for people to read through. Most people don't read paragraphs of text, but there's enough here to help people keep engaged. So I would just work on that that engagement piece, driving people into deeper engagement with your website and with your church as a result of that. So I hope that this provided some insights, some hopefully some clear, actionable items that you can take for your website, how to make it more user-friendly for guests and for visitors, checking out your website, trying to learn more about your church. If you have any questions, as always, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have, happy to help you and your church energize your church's communications. So feel free to leave a comment on below today's video, send me an email, follow us on social media, all of the things. If we can help you in any way, please do reach out and let me know. I would be happy to answer any questions you have, happy to help your church. I hope you have a great week, and we will be back next Wednesday, of course, 11 a.m. Eastern time for our next church website review. Have a great day, everybody.